Hey, how we doing, everybody?
Here we are.
What's up, man? Hey,
Let's
Derek,
go.
good to see you. Hey, everybody, this is Evan Layton with HTown Happy Hour.
Derek Deal-Levy with HTown Happy Hour.
And we have two very special guests in the building today.
Introduce yourselves.
Casey Cardona with CaseBakes in Webster, Texas.
And Jason Cardona, her husband, same thing. Here with
Awesome.
CaseBakes.
Hey, out of Webster, man. Hometown heroes out
right.
here.
So
Hometown heroes.
what is CaseBakes?
So we are a gourmet bakery, and we specialize in custom decorated cookies, buttercream cakes, cupcakes, gourmet drop cookies, gourmet cotton candy, cakesicles. You name it, it's sweet, we do it.
Wow.
Everything.
Everything.
Anything good under the sun.
Yep.
Yep.
If it has sugar, we have it.
That'd be it. That must be tough to watch your figure.
It is.
Man, you got like
It
30 cookies right there. You're like, well, what happens if I just take one? It wouldn't hurt too bad, would it?
I know, I actually tried to go vegan, what was it, like a month or two ago? And I think I lasted like 4 days without the bakery. I was like, I have to try it.
It'd be hard to last 4 hours in something like that.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
just imagine the smell. I mean, okay, tell me, how are the smells coming out of your business running a cookie and a gourmet cake shop? I mean, does it just smell wonderful when you walk in?
Oh,
All the
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Chocolate cakes at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, how could you ever go wrong with that?
So I remember when we first had the place open, right? You know, you kind of had the construction smell and all that new
Fresh
place.
paint and all
Yeah,
that.
exactly. And then, so at the time, you know, they start baking, and it just gradually took probably about a month for it to kind of just settle in. But in that time, I was trying to put some like little air fresheners in there, and we had one of our employees like, no, we cannot have these air fresheners. We need this bakery smell to kind of
Linger.
grow its way in here. And it's like, you know what, you actually do have a point, and
So no
that's kinda-
green pine trees.
No air
hanging out.
fresheners.
Yeah, I can find
No
that.
Glade aerosols.
Nope.
No. Well,
Nope.
and now on the flip side, now y'all have a cake smelling business every time you walk in.
Every
Oh,
time.
yeah.
If I
It
could
must be
candle that, it would be the best candle smell
Oh,
ever.
yeah.
Maybe.
might got something.
Yeah, I was about to say, any candle makers out there, we have a new person for you to talk
Yeah.
to.
Right.
So, kind of tell us some of the day-to-day stuff that y'all do in this cake and cookie world.
Day to day. That gets super chaotic depending on what day we're talking about. If it's a holiday, if it's graduation season right now,
Let's say
that's what gets us. We get there about 7:30 in the morning, fire up the ovens. We bake fresh every day, which I'm super proud to talk about and say because that's a lot of work that goes into that.
Yeah.
But we make everything in-house, bake fresh every day. So we'll get there in the morning, we have 3 mixers. We'll start mixing our dough, mixing our batters, getting everything ready. 4 days a week, we're open to the public where you can actually walk in and purchase.
What times are those?
So Wednesday through Friday, we're open from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 10 to 2. And so towards the days that we're open to the public is when we're getting everything ready for the lobby sales.
Yeah.
So we have a crew doing lobby, and then we have the crew in the back working on all the custom orders, whether it's the cookies, the cakes, the cupcakes that's going out, as well as any corporate orders that are on the book, ship orders because we ship nationwide. So it's really like a bunch of ants running through there doing what they got to do.
So y'all go nationwide, huh?
Yes, we
Where's-
ship our cookies nationwide. That's the only thing.
What's the furthest point y'all have shipped to?
Well, we used to do I know that we've done Canada, but we stopped it because customs, they'll open your packages and they never put it back the way it's supposed
And
to
they
be.
don't put that special sticker
And
to keep
so,
it sealed.
Right.
by the time it gets to the customer, it's been broken. They weren't shut correctly. So we just stay to the USA. But we've shipped almost all 50 states. I think we're on
Wow.
like 5 states that we haven't, but we've shipped everywhere.
Wow. How'd you get started? How'd you get started in it?
So
Hold on, before you get started, I remember whenever you were in your dad's kitchen. Or was it your dad's or was it yours house? It was somebody's kitchen. I remember you were still taking pictures of like everything. You're like, hey, I got more orders and more orders. You're like, finally, well, y'all needed a shop. Like y'all were using the oven in your own house for.
that was our kitchen. That was his moment where it was like, we need to stop. So after we had our son, it just working and daycare, it just wasn't worth it at that point. So I became a stay-at-home mom. He is huge on finances and budgeting and looking over numbers. And so he gave me a budget for our son's birthday party. So I'm Googling and I came across these gorgeous cookies and I thought, I'm not going to pay that. I can do that. I tell everyone the story, swear it's the story. So then I started Googling how to make these cookies, and I watched YouTube videos and read blogs, and I ran out to the Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and I just started buying everything. And my first batch, I cried over. It did not look anything like the picture. Remember? And
Did you console your wife after that?
Yes.
Like, hey, it's gonna be okay.
So I remember
This-
coming in from work, you know, walking in, you know, setting my stuff down and kind of walking in the foyer and looking in the kitchen, and
it was
she
wrecked.
just it was all crazy in there, and
Flowers on the microwave.
yeah.
And
She
I was crying, and I was like, I can't do this. And he was so supportive. He was like, you have to keep trying. You're not going to get it your first try. Just keep trying. They look great. And he ate it, and it was probably awful. It was probably burnt on the bottom. Nothing like our product this day. But he kind of kept pushing me. And so I did it. And then our son's party came, and the cookies were halfway decent. And someone at the party was like, hey, I have a baby shower next week. Can you make cookies for the baby shower? And I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I won't charge you, but I'll do it.
Sure. Yeah.
So I did the cookies, and I went to the shower, and someone at the shower said, hey, I have a shower next weekend. Can you do cookies for that shower? Again, I'm like, I won't charge you, just, whatever. And it slowly got to the point where people I didn't know were contacting my personal Facebook wanting cookies. And I was like, I have to start having a division because, I'm a private person. I didn't want all these people I don't know. So I created a business
Hey,
page.
Blake's birthday is next week. Can we get the blue
I know,
and the green
right?
ones? Yeah.
So
That
it
says
just,
his name.
it snowballed into its own beast. I never thought this would turn into this. I never
Awesome.
thought it would
Wow.
even get there. And like I said, our kitchen, you said the post, it turned into a bakery. We had bakery racks and mixers, and our kitchen table was covered. It moved into our dining room even at some points. And he just finally said, all right, we're either like going gung-ho on this or we're pulling back. We can't keep living like this. So.
Way to make a decision.
Yeah. I mean, that's just, as, you just kind of come home and the house is just trash. There's really nowhere to make a good meal. You know what I mean?
You're like, dude, what's a man got to do to get a sandwich
it's
out
like,
of these
what,
cookies,
what
man?
we got to do? So, so me kind of being, a lot more in tune with the finances, kind of started looking around, see what we could do ourselves to take us to that next step.
Yeah.
And, just at the time, we're just kind of working. We're kind of tied up in expenses, just kind of like your typical people, right? You got bills, you got debt.
Yep.
We didn't have very much to where we could do anything at that time. But, thank
So
goodness.
then he approaches me, y'all, with this idea. Let's sell our house, move into our motorhome with we had 4 dogs. Four
That's
dogs.
bold, bro.
2 of them are labs and our 2 kids.
We
and
just
then,
had this motorhome for like, what,
2
a
months?
month before
Month
that?
or
Yeah,
2.
we actually got it to go to a wedding in Indiana.
Did they ask you to make a cake for him?
No, we were traveling.
Come on.
We were traveling.
So we ended up getting that RV just for that wedding, and we were in there for about a week and a half, and that was the first taste of living in an RV, and we had fun. The kids liked it, and that's kind of what just was ding, ding, ding. Hey, let's shoot out this idea.
Maybe this is gonna work.
Yeah, so I did send. First time I told Casey about it, she was like, "No, there's no way we can't go from this to living in an RV." And I'm like, "Well,
almost
just,
a 2,000 square foot home to a 32-foot motorhome, no
Yeah.
slide
No
outs,
slide outs.
completely narrow, with 2 labs.
If that's
did
not,
it, though.
if
We did it.
if that's not part of the story to success, I really don't know what is.
That's
It
like
was-
something out of a movie.
It
Yeah,
was.
I
It could have
mean,
been. There was a
yeah.
lot of stories about it. Those labs had their.
That's huge.
No,
Play
wait to be
into
a
that.
man.
Believing in her too, and her
Well,
baking and stuff.
Yeah,
and
but
being
it, just it takes her too to believe the idea as well, because I mean we can't do anything without both of us on the same page, right? I mean that's
Perfect.
just in any relationship.
Perfect.
And but yeah, for us that's just kind of what it was for us, and I mean, at first she was like, "Nope, we're not doing it." And then,
How'd you convince her?
And then two weeks later, bills are due, and we pay all the bills, and it's like, okay, you know what? Let's.
Maybe-
I'm on board. I'm like, okay, once we do this and this house is listed, I don't go back. I'm kind of a guy. If I start something, I like to
I'm gonna finish it.
Burn the
whether
shit.
it fails or
Burn the
succeeds,
shit. Yep.
I'm gonna find out, right?
Yes, sir.
And so she's like, all right. So we did it, and then Harvey hit. Kind of threw a little.
Everybody a curveball.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, everybody. So it kind of delayed us. We were trying to get out, I think, in September. We ended up getting out in
November.
December, right?
November.
November. And then from then on, we lived in our RV at a RV resort. We were there for like 8 months, which was it was different. It was nice. It was totally different. I mean, just the space, you'd be surprised on
How
really,
little you need to
yeah,
get by.
exactly. That's
it's
one
really
thing.
shocking.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's
Yep.
probably a very eye-opening moment for y'all also, to where y'all are thinking like, hey, we have all these luxuries here at the house.
Yep.
Why should we do this? But y'all took a step out on faith and the fact of people are going to demand these dang cookies and these cakes. People are going to demand. And you believe in it. You're over here like, hey, whoa. Yeah. We're good. Yeah. And you're over here like, nah, bro, we about to get it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, just monitoring the money and doing our taxes. Well, she actually would do our taxes, but kind of just backtracking everything, kind of seeing every year what she's growing. Yeah. It was just, I mean, for me, the evidence was there, you know what I mean, and where she was going. And legally, we kind of had to decide it's either we're going to put a cap on the business and you're going to make X amount and we're going to stay here at this house, or we're going to do this leap and then go forward. But I feel confident that if we make the sacrifice, I told her 2 years is what it's going to take us to finally get back into a house. I said, but if we, when we get that, I feel you're gonna be good. You know, that's what you need. You need the proper equipment, spacing.
The cap that he's talking about is the state of Texas allows home bakers to do certain things under the Texas cottage law. That's what I operated under. There's a financial cap. You can only make X, Y, Z.
Wow.
Before they start putting you in a different bracket.
Before
and things of that
they
nature.
want you to go commercial or things along that line. So it's either you're going to go below the radar and you're going to do it kind of illegally, or you're going to have to put a cap. And at the volume that I was doing and the clientele that I was servicing, it got to the point where I'm not going to tell this corporate person, sorry, I've made too much money this year. I can't take your order.
Hey, guys, my bank account is full. Okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm already maxed out.
My bank account's full, guys. No more business.
I never had that problem.
So that's what really kind of encouraged us to like, okay, let's do it. And so he's been the one that's pushed it the whole way. To me, opening a bakery sounded like a nightmare. And there's days where I'm like, this is a nightmare. Why did I do this? Yes. But he's always like, no, this is this. And he lays it out to keep it in sight for me, because there's days sometimes where.
So I remember when she first was starting, initially she was saying, she goes, man, if I could just get 2 to 3 cookie orders a week, I'd be good. You know, that's when we're back at the house before it all just kind of snowballing. She was like, man, if I just two orders a week. And now every time she's kind of show me her schedule and the work they have the week coming up, I just always reflect on that comment she made. I was like, do you remember when you used to talk about you just need 2? You just want a little bit of spending money, you know?
And now and now you're probably like, fuck, we got another 3 orders today, man.
Went from 2 to too many.
I'm gonna write that one down, man. From 2 to too many.
Copyright that.
I kind of want to
put that on a cookie, would you?
I kind of want to unpackage this a little bit. How is it, being in a relationship and running a business together? What's that dynamic like?
So that's challenging sometimes.
Yeah, it can be.
It's challenging because in the aspect that this is, I feel, my industry. I know the key makers in it. I've been in it for a while. I know a lot how things go. I know certain ingredients. I know certain brands. I know on market what's this, what's that. And so he comes from a manufacturing background. And so he'll have a different point of view, and I'll have another point of view. And sometimes he feels ganged upon because all the women in the bakery, he thinks take my side.
It's what they have one of when you got like 5 or 6 of them. You're just like,
they're like, no, this sugar is the best sugar. And you're like, look, well, we can afford this sugar and we can get more of it.
It can get like that. Or, it's very stressful at times because he works outside of the bakery. So I can call him and be like, this distributor or this printer, and I have an issue. And he's like, I'm with the customer. What do you want me to do? I'm like, figure it out. I can't figure it out. Or the machine broke, or the oven, or, something like that. So it can get very challenging. And it does get brought home a lot of times because if he's frustrated at me and then I bring it home and then it's frustrated, it's
and you just turn on the damn mixer in the morning, so I'm still mad about that.
And that's when I get to get the little jab. You remember when I told you should be doing like this? This is exactly why.
Yep.
Okay, so on that, you were saying some it was kind of some troublesome, but y'all were able to overcome it. Are there any sort of major kind of hurdles that y'all faced going through this? I mean, I know the downsizing of y'all's living and going into there, and then not knowing whether or not this was gonna take flight and actually go. But once it started to snowball, like you said, what were some of the issues that y'all faced?
So I'll say right off the bat, when we decided to do this, our contractor right out the gate robbed us.
Oh, no.
Wow.
He took off with the money, and that was that. So,
Oh,
I
wow.
mean, you can imagine that hurdle, that hit that we took.
Yeah.
And so we became the contractors.
Wow.
We were on YouTube Googling
Yeah.
how to install FRP, which is walls that you need
Yep.
for a bakery, the ceiling tile drops, everything that we needed. That became us. So he would go to work, and at the time he worked in Cyprus. He'd drive over an hour. We'd go to the bakery, and let's knock out this room. Let's knock out this wall. Up, the city dropped something else off. Let's take
new
care
ordinance?
of that.
Oh.
Yeah, so it was us doing the work, and that
Yeah.
was such a hurdle to get over because money's tight now. We've invested it was gone. Now we're doing it ourselves. We're also the laborer, and I'm still running the business out of my mom's kitchen because I don't have a house now. I don't have an oven, so I'm balancing that with our 2 small children and living in a motorhome.
Oh,
And
yeah. So for for us, like what she was saying, we kind of ran that issue. So once you sign the papers on your new place to lease,
It's
it
done.
starts right there. They're not
Yeah.
like, hey, whenever you finish your build out,
Yeah.
then you start. It's like, from the get go. So when
It's the effective date of the contract, my friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So our issue with our contractors, we had agreed to certain dates and a time frame to kind of get this going, right? Because we basically needed to get money coming back in instead of
Yeah.
going out.
Like yesterday we did
Yeah,
money.
because we're trying to get out of our parents' house because it's you know what I mean. I mean, just bringing in a whole nother family and some dogs it's got to be tough. But yeah, so that was kind of an issue. So when we had that setback, that's just kind of like just kind of learning what you can do. I mean, a lot of
What
construction.
you're capable of,
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, a lot of me, I think it just comes down to having the proper equipment to do the job, right? Whether
Yep.
it's a tool, you can't do a good job if you don't have the right equipment. So
Right tools.
That's kind of one
Right.
thing I learned about YouTube is, if you have the money to buy the equipment, you should be able to do it. I think we're all smart men at our.
We can figure it
Yeah,
out.
we can figure it out. I
Screw
mean,
goes
women
lefty-
too. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Lefty
yeah,
loosey,
yeah.
righty tighty,
Yeah.
and really falls
Exactly.
in line.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and that's kind of what we ended up having to do.
Yeah.
And that also contributed to when we were at the time too when we started, we were still living in our RV. So the time that we were spending at the RV wasn't as much because as soon as I would get out of work, it would go straight to the bakery, start working. So we wouldn't get back there till about 8:30. All we had time was to shower, eat, go to sleep, and get ready for the next day. And that we had 8 months, pretty much like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that
so
was
it's a
probably,
business of love.
Yeah, that's what I was
deep
just about to
within.
say.
Yeah.
It
Like
is.
y'all, like you built it. You even to the building. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you were all in. That's crazy.
It's just,
That's
it's,
awesome.
I mean, it's never. It's all. There's always going to be bumps, right? Things. I mean, you just got to be able to be prepared to make adjustments as you need.
Yep.
I think in order to be successful, period. If you don't have that quality, it's going to be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
I kind of like to describe that as being able to problem solve on the fly.
Yeah,
You
right.
have to be
yeah.
you have to be quick witted. You have to be able to make a decision in a time where it's like,
Yeah.
oh crap, what just happened? Huge. What do we do? Take this over there, and you have to be able to make
Yeah.
Yeah.
decisions, even if they might not be the right one at the time. Just make a decision, handle it, problem solve, and the show must go on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the show must
Correct.
go on.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. You twice now you said you even learned on YouTube how to do the baking
Yeah,
and stuff,
yeah.
and then y'all talking
built
about
out on a
You
bakery.
too,
You,
man.
you learned
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
build
Yeah.
A
the
bakery.
actual bakery on YouTube. It's crazy the tools tools we have as like human beings
Oh,
in this
yeah.
time and age. Like we can do anything.
Like
you can
prior
learn-
to the bakery, I had never been in a commercial restaurant setting. I didn't know how to work a 3-compartment sink. I was like, Google that. What do we do? What compartment for
What is a
what?
three-
The disposal
Yeah.
on the other side. What do you mean?
Yeah, it was all brand new. So
Yeah.
we would Google so much
Yeah.
of everything, and it all
and
came
you have to
together.
get everything permitted and stuff like
Yes.
that
Oh, yeah.
too. You
Yeah.
have
Oh,
to
yeah.
learn that whole
Yeah.
permitting process. And
Yeah.
And
That's
the
something.
thing is also, we didn't realize how active the business or the city was, the city that we're in our business. We actually
Yeah.
had to go pitch our idea to the business before they approved us to operate in the
Wow.
business. A
Yeah.
big round table. I had a slideshow, and we got the approval. But then they do the walkthroughs with you. They
Yeah.
do your
Yeah.
everything. So they're very involved
Yeah.
with the business.
Yeah.
I'm on a first name basis with the health inspector. There's only one in the city, so it's
Wow.
very one-on-one.
Yeah, Webster's
so,
not that big.
No.
Yeah.
So
Well, and then also that elevates you. You know what I
Right.
mean? You're on board with the
Yeah.
city officials, and they're over here going like, all right, hey, Casey, Jason,
Yeah.
My mother's got a party going
Yep.
on next weekend.
Yep.
And if we could just get 2 baker's dozens of
Yeah.
We Love You,
That'd be
Susan.
great.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
And we take over some of our leftovers to Precinct 8 a lot of times, or we'll do it to the Webster Fire Department, Police Department,
Well, because the
things
fire
like that.
department and the police department are right. like,
right across the street.
Right on the other side of Highway
Yeah.
3. Yeah.
So when we would do construction, you can't get nothing past City Hall because we're across the street from City Hall. So it's like, oh, there's a
Well, watch
vehicle.
me over there, guys. Yeah.
You just slide them a few cookies.
Yeah. You didn't
Hey,
see any of these.
Y'all just hush up, man. These will keep coming, all right?
That's
No, but you'd be amazed at how involved that they are because they'll notice anything, you know. So it's kind of hard to try to pull something.
Absolutely.
You know, which we
We
know
do
don't-
everything by the books.
Yeah, exactly. And it's good because they will notice. Oh, you got
Yeah.
this, and
We
like
did
you
a
did
lobby
that,
expansion last summer.
Looks like your sign got up another 1.5 feet. Did you talk to anyone
Oh
about
yeah,
that?
that's the thing. But we did a lobby expansion last summer, and we can talk about that. But the demand grew for the business to grow the lobby size, and
I think I was there
you
for
were
that.
there for that.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
And
Yeah.
the health inspector came in this January, and she was like, "This is new. This is all new. Who did this?" And I was like, "Oh no, it's been inspected. It's good. We're good. We're good."
Trust me, it's within codes.
Yeah.
Just here's some cookies, get on.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So it's been. I mean, we've talked like this has been going on for 20 years. You know what I mean?
Feels like it.
I know. We've been talking like this has been happening forever. So at what point? When did y'all start this? And at what point did you know, hey, this is gonna be it? Because I know y'all talked about the struggles. When did y'all know that this is gonna be it? And how long have y'all been doing it?
So total, I've been doing it for about 11 years now, and we went commercial in 2018.
2018. Yeah, right at the end. That September is when we opened the doors.
But we signed the lease in
Yeah.
like January.
And so at that time when we opened the doors, she was still working by herself at that time. So she had a new facility, all the new equipment she said she needed, but it was just her. So that's when.
That's taxing.
Yeah. So now we're at the stage where the business is starting to evolve, and it's like, okay, now you need some employees, you know.
Yeah.
Now, so this whole thing we're still in the snowball effect, right, from when she first started to where we're at now.
Well, to speed that snowball along, summer of 2018, I was contacted by Food Network to do a
Nice.
show on Food Network.
Wow.
So we filmed in June, and that was going to air in December. So our doors opened in October. Like you said, it was just me. I thought I had it. I was like, I don't need anybody. I've been doing this for years. And
Right.
then the episode aired, and
Boom.
boom.
How did Food Network get a hold of y'all? Like, how do you know how that happened? Like,
So I think they just really go out there and they scout really hard
Wow.
and they get what they can get. But I remember I was so kind of disconnected from it. He was the one pushing me. He's always pushing me. He was the one
good,
pushing me
good.
for Food
That's
Network.
what you need out of a partner.
Way to go, man.
And we
Way to
would
go,
be
man.
Like,
at-
go.
Yeah, you got it, girl. Yeah.
And there's so many interview stages to go through that. It's not just one, it's several Zoom calls, and they want to see you create something and you're talking with producers. It's
Show me
very,
your documents also.
Yeah.
Why we're here.
It's very
No,
draining.
yeah.
And I remember one night we were at the bakery working and the phone was ringing and it said Los Angeles. And he was like, "Is that them? Have you submitted what you need to submit? Are they following up on you?" I was like, "I'll get to them." And he was like, "No, stop. Submit the paperwork." And I just, it was months process worth. But so the episode aired that December. And I remember I was sleeping at the bakery. I had an air mattress and I didn't leave
Wow.
the bakery. I would literally set a timer for like 20, 30 minutes, get a quick nap in,
Wow.
then back up while something was drying. And we
Wow.
were both there. Our kids have slept at that bakery so many
Yeah, we
times.
slept there. Yeah.
Yeah. What is it? It's Kason and Ella, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
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 I tell you,
So,
I'm impressed by y'all sacrifices. That's crazy.
Man, it's-
like y'all a true definition of entrepreneurs.
So I
It's
remember
been-
when we first kind of were telling people about what we're gonna do. It was kind of like, what?
You're
Yeah,
crazy.
what? Yeah,
You're
dude, like,
crazy.
Cakes and cookie business,
We kind of
and-
had like.
We actually didn't do cakes. That came from Corona.
Oh,
And
wow.
I'll tell you about all that. But yeah, it was just decorated cookies that I did. I never planned to have a lobby, never any of that. And it snowballed into that because once people saw us on Food Network, they started showing up at my door. So I had I hired two
Security.
people. Yeah. And then we would only open up for holidays, but then they just kind of kept coming. So then we were kind of forced to open up our lobby just a few days. And it's in an industrial complex. It's not like a great retail location. It
Right.
looked like a small office when you walked into the lobby. And they just kept coming and coming, and we would have a line. And finally, that's when we ended up having to do the construction in the lobby to expand the lobby.
Yeah.
But when Corona happened, we were able to actually keep all of our staff, everything. We were able to work still. We did curbside. Everything went curbside. We'd bake for the bakery, put it up on the website. People would check out. We would have a line through the parking lot.
Wow.
And they would call they were here. We'd walk out, put it in their trunk, shut it, and move on.
Yeah.
But the grocery stores, their bakeries weren't open. They were canceling. So people were calling us,
Y'all
hey,
were booming.
can we get cakes? And I thought, well, I only have 2 sizes. I have a 5-inch and I have a 9-inch. That's all I have. That's all I can get right now. If you'll go with it. And they said, that's fine. I said, well, I don't do any fondant. I can do some buttercream though. Real simple. Do chocolate ganache strips, something, ombre. That's fine. Boom. That's all we do now. That's so I actually
Bread
have a
and
cake
butter
department
right
now.
there, just
Yeah.
all day.
Yep.
Now we can get the buttercream, we can get the ganache
Literally,
things on
bread
the
and
side.
butter.
Yeah, it's literally the bread and butter.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
Literally.
We open up a bakery and we
So,
selling dope.
Out of that story, yeah, now I actually have a cake department and I have 2 cake artists that do it, and we still only offer those 2 sizes, and that's what it is, and this is our work, and we're not trying to be, something crazy and elaborate. This is what it is. Take it or leave it, but you can get it with your cookies and it'll match.
It kind of goes back to what he was
It's
saying.
delicious, by the way. Cakes are great, by the way. Yeah.
Y'all had to. He was talking about how it's important, y'all as business owners and stuff, to be able to adjust. The coronavirus is a
Very.
perfect example. Y'all kind of adjusted and found a new niche that is now you killing it with it.
So when that happened, we were kind of shut down for close to 2 weeks, and we were at the table just kind of like, okay, what are we gonna do going forward? Like, this is, we got employees. You
That
don't want,
was
you don't want,
devastating.
like one of the things that I know we take pride in being business owners, not just having the business, but being able to support your workers
Right.
that work with you. Right.
That's huge.
That's awesome. If you're to all employee people that are out there, that's. Anyway,
Having people that
sidetracked.
you're working for that give a darn probably makes a difference for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably makes a huge difference for
We
them.
love our staff, and they were there when we all just remember the news at the bakery when they canceled the rodeo, and we were like, what? And then when they started saying everything closed but necessity, I actually contacted the health inspector because, again, we're on the fly. I'm not gonna do,
Right.
and she was like, hey, you're really not a necessity. You're kind of a dessert shop.
You
Y'all
want
need
to try me on that?
How
We can
dare
go further
you.
on
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, a cake.
So-
You had a cake.
Yeah.
Seeing our
Not
calendar,
necessity.
a normal booked calendar, literally client by client, corporate order by corporate order, just disappearing
Drop,
from the
yeah.
calendar was depressing. I mean, I would cry. I would just cry. I thought, this is it. This is how it's going to go. We fought too hard, and here it goes.
This is the
But
end
then
of it.
when, the food shortages started with bread and things like that, that was our end to get back in. So we started selling bread, and that got our foot in the door. And since we were selling bread, we just started making other things to keep it going. And we kept our staff fully employed. We actually even
Awesome.
hired during the pandemic. And so we
Wow.
grew a
So
little bit.
y'all weren't a necessity. Y'all were more a safe haven for
Yes.
people who want to continue
So
working.
what we did actually, we started marketing towards everyone now being stuck at home. So we did decorate your own cookie kit. So we would give you the cookies
Beautiful.
and the icing and the sprinkles. Drive through, call, let us know here. We'll put it in your trunk. And then you know what? Send us a picture and we'll post what your kid did. And we
Yeah.
would
I bet
switch
that
the
was
themes
huge.
up and
Yeah.
things like that. So we just had to get really inventive to change it to keep
Yeah.
being in the forefront of everybody
Yeah.
since we were no longer walk-in.
That's
Yeah.
a great strategy.
Yeah.
Because they want to show off what they did too.
Yeah.
And it's a way to
Yeah.
let them be like involved in it and stuff.
And it gives the kid an
Do
activity.
you ever run any
Exactly.
contests for like them? Like, hey, submit the best cookie and win a,
We
win.
did try that, but only one person turned in our entry. So I was
Aw.
like, winner by default.
You are the winner. You are the winner.
You didn't have to tell him he was the only.
Yeah.
Tell them they were the only person.
Well, no one else showed up, so you're the winner. No, out of everybody, you did the best, sir. Here you go. Here's your prize.
I'll take
Yeah.
that W.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. A win's a win, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
So okay, so now we've kind of covered some of the struggles, you know what I mean, that y'all obviously just hit home runs on. What is some of kind of like more like the anything that y'all want to highlight? What was a big, like, wow? What do we have our hands on? Because that's something we've talked about in some of the other episodes. That sometimes people, some of the entrepreneurs that we have on the show, almost seem to be like, what did we get ourselves into? Did y'all ever have any moments like that where y'all are like, we're gonna have to do better for this?
That's gonna be your question. so me, I guess I could say would be really when we took the step. So we first had our employees hired, right? I think we had hired like 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah.
But whenever you kind of start expanding into more,
Yeah.
you start doubling that amount that you have. That's kind of when it gets real, because
Yeah.
now it's like, you're like, man, not like you can't turn back. You know what I
Right,
mean?
because those people depend on you.
Yeah,
That
don't wanna-
you're feeding them too.
You don't open a business to backtrack or for it to fail, or
Correct.
you know what I mean?
Right.
And for me, that's kind of when it was like, when she was ready to hire somebody else, it was like, okay. Let's take a look. Let's make sure, that we're set up for that, and not just for right now, but going forward.
That could be sustainable.
Yeah,
exactly.
and I think that is the big thing is with our staff, we care more about our staff probably. I don't know.
That's so
We're
awesome.
very so in tuned with our staff, and I love that. What a big hiring thing for me that I'm able to give women is I know what it's like to be a mom, work around my kid's schedule, and
Yeah.
I've had horrible bosses that don't care that you're a
Right.
mom and they don't care that your kid's sick. So when we first started out hiring, it was like, your mindset, the perfect person I was looking for was another mom.
Yeah.
So everyone there.
So you're safe here.
You're safe here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fire you because your kid got sick. And you know what? During the summer, it's like CaseBakes daycare. Everyone brings their kids up there and
Put them to work.
They actually,
Yeah.
we actually had a kid room. We just got rid of it though last summer because that turned into our office when we demoed. But we actually had a kids room there with Xboxes and TVs and whatnot. Bring your kid. Let's get to work. You know what it's
NBA
like.
and Call of Duty. I might want to stop by.
There's like WWA going on there. But it's just a really great environment for them to know that they can work outside the home, they can work within the hours, and they're not going to have to sacrifice their whole paycheck for childcare. So a lot of, I would say 98% of our staff are moms.
Wow.
And they take their kids to school and they pick their kids up and they're not missing a beat with their family while still being able to provide.
And also, you can work around their schedules,
Yeah.
knowing that, hey, you're with good company here. I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from. Don't abuse it, but I
Yes.
understand.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. And a lot of our kids are friends. Like right now, our son's playing video games with another one of my decorators' kids.
Cool.
Like our
Cool.
kids are friends. And it's
Cool.
just created this
Yeah.
huge environment where we feel we go over and beyond because we feel so indebted to them because
Yeah.
I'm not blind. My business would not be where it is if it was not for my staff because
Right.
they give their all
Yeah.
and they give my vision.
Yeah.
They know what my vision is.
And they're on board with what your vision is.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're on board with the growth. They're on board with everything. They just cannot wait for us to expand. They're constantly making comments like, "Oh, too small. We need another place." They're running out of room, and I keep saying, "Quit saying that. I don't want to hear it. We just expanded the lobby." But
Did you kind of enjoy building that team?
I do, and I love
Really?
my team. And it's
Yeah.
funny because whenever we hire someone new, I'm like, "It's complete. I don't need another person." And then we have to hire someone else, and then I'm like, "Now it's complete." It's like,
Yeah.
and everybody gets along so well, and there's so many inside jokes. And there's a thing we have around the bakery called FOMO, where nobody doesn't want to be scheduled because they're gonna have FOMO because they're gonna miss out on a new inside joke or a new story or a new joke.
Cool.
So it's we have an amazing work environment.
Well, that complements the the community and the atmosphere that you
Yeah.
have there. I mean, as long as you're not having people be like, "Hey, Casey, I'm sick, calling into work again today."
Oh,
yeah.
I'm sure they probably enjoy coming into
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
We have a
It
very
sounds
low
like it.
turnover rate. And for the turnover rate that we have, it's usually someone who was in college and left for something else or something like we do not have a high turnover. I mean, we've had employees for 3 years and I have employees that have been there for 3 years. So very great. I mean, I love our staff.
It's so important to build that that kind of work culture
Yeah.
for your business.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's key. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
I don't remember. I'm taking so many notes over here. I'm writing all this stuff down. Trying 1 page, 3 page, 5 page. I don't know where I'm at.
So what's your favorite part? Well, both y'all. What each of y'all? What's your favorite part about it all?
I love that I get to be creative. I love that I can see something funny or something trending like a meme or a joke, and then we can go
Yeah.
to work and we can just run with it or run. Like beer flights are so in right now, right? Like you go somewhere, you get a beer flight. So now
Yep.
we started cake flights. So you can come in and you get a box, and it's
girl, that's impressive. You're in.
You're
She's,
innovative and that creativity is shining.
Oh, yeah.
And so we have those now for the walk-in cooler, and it's 5 different cake flavors. It's just a slice of them in a box, ready to go, and we switch them out with the themes. So Father's Day, we're gonna have one coming up, and I don't want to release the flavors just in case someone beats me to it. But it's just being able
Any
to
other
have a
bakers out
creative
there? Yeah. Yeah,
outlet. Halloween, I can't wait to get cookies, or Christmas, and whatever you want to do, just being able to just express it. One year for Christmas, I was really into pastels, so I did all pastels, and someone in the lobby was like, "Christmas is red and green, not light blue and light pink." And
Look,
I'm
ma'am,
like,
celebrate
"It's
Christmas
my
on your own
Christmas."
turn.
Yeah. This is what I wanted to do. This is my store. So it's
You're the
fun to have that
professional.
outlet. Yeah. Let me run with it.
Who are you telling
Yeah.
how to make this treat right now?
Yeah.
So
but I will
fun.
say that her and her team, they're just, their imagination is just incredible. They're just always coming up with just things. I'm like, what? Like,
How'd you
know,
even
how
think
y'all
of
come
that?
up with this stuff?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, yeah, they're all very good at what they do. I mean, just that whole team is CaseBakes. You know, it's not just Case like how it was when she first started. That whole team, I mean, they're just.
He always says he loves to walk around. Like, so pretty much from Halloween through New Year's, we have a line outside the door that starts about 30 minutes before we open, and it stays pretty steady. And he loves to walk through the bakery and yell out, 15 minutes, like clap his hands. And then everyone.
Yes, sir, boss.
Yeah,
Yes,
like,
sir,
get
boss.
ready, get ready.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone's
we do
running.
the same thing on this show.
Yeah.
I did the same thing for y'all. It's like 15 minutes live with Casey
They're over there
And, like,
packaging, and I
running
know that they're
around.
in their head just like cursing me out, like, get this guy out of here.
Doesn't matter, girls. Let's
Yeah.
go, girls. Get
Yeah.
it together.
Come on, ladies.
Constantly.
Yeah, that's
And
how I
like
get
how
my
you heard
kicks.
Evan said earlier, I do a live every day to show what's in the cases, and it's not to just, and you know, I'll say, and there's a line, and I'm letting people know this is what I have, and there is a line. So if you come at 3:00, it's
Don't
slim
be no hater,
pickings.
dude.
Yeah.
Don't be a hater. We told you the
Yeah.
inventory's here. You saw
Yes.
the inventory.
Yeah.
And there's other people who are hungry. for
And
these.
that's a big struggle too, because part of me baking fresh every day, I don't like to have leftover inventory. So yes, I could go back in the kitchen and I could bake it, and we would be stocked all throughout the day, and that would be a lovely business model. But then that's going to be waste. That's going to cut into what I'm going to do tomorrow, and I don't want that. I'd rather have my ovens running, my staff preparing, and I know it's the freshest product that's out there.
out there.
Yeah.
Bottom
Good.
line.
That's cool. So do you have any sort of like other people who do, like you said, you don't want anyone else to take your flavors. Do you have people out there who do take your flavors and your styles?
There are. Yeah, there are. I mean, there's some leeway in this industry, but I'm friends with a lot of other bakers.
So it's friendly competition.
Some of it is. A lot of it is, but there is some that's not so friendly. But the ones that are, we know that we're together and we know that we're in it. There's a bakery 4.6 miles from my bakery, and I know that because I refer them out to a lot of people, and she and I can vent to each other all the time. It's like,
It's
oh
good to have
my
someone
gosh.
connect with like that.
Yeah, and it's great because
know.
I can be like, hey, it's Halloween. What day do you think will be the busiest day? She's like, Thursday. And I said, Saturday. And then we'll get back together and see who won.
Yeah.
And it's great because we have that. And a lot of the times, because she does do beautiful tiered cakes, fondant cakes, beautiful cakes, I can say, hey, she can do your cakes, but we can do your cookies. And we do a lot
It's a
of
tandem work.
Referral.
yes, and
Cool,
she's
cool,
so
cool.
sweet, and I love her for it. And so people like that, you know, we have a saying, they stay in our lane, like we stay in our lanes, right? Like
Yeah.
I respect her craft, she respects mine. We have our respectful boundaries.
Yeah.
But there are others who do not respect the boundaries, that cross the line, that make the product way too similar, way too close to the time you release
And
it.
probably
things
try
like
to
that.
mess the market
Well,
up by trying to like
but-
change prices and
Yeah.
stuff, undercut the high the
Yeah.
people who've been there maybe a little bit more. There's a phrase I used to say: if you come in my lane, you better know how to drive.
Yeah.
If you come in my lane, you better
Go
know
the
how to
speed
drive.
limit.
Yeah.
And you know, and I always wish there was just one thing I could say to other bakers is quit underselling yourself.
Yeah.
We could all profit in this
Right.
market. If you know, it's funny because people can charge $300 for a cake and no one's going to bat an eye, right? But you come and people will pay it. But then if you're saying, I'll only charge you $250, well, they're going with you because you're a little bit cheaper, but they would have gone with you if you said $300. You shorted
Right.
yourself is what you did. If you
Shortchanged
set an
yourself.
industry standard, that's just what it is across the
is.
board. Guess what? We're all going to profit more. We're all going to make more money. There's
Everybody
no
can
need
get
to
a slice of the
shortchange.
pie.
Yeah.
So are you? No, that's very right.
You
So are
know-
you saying that that the other bakers are playing themselves?
Yes.
Yes, the other bakers
Honestly,
are playing themselves.
I would love to say, look at a commercial setting, look at my business, look at other commercial bakeries, and be at that level.
Yeah.
Be close to that level. You shouldn't be $25, $30 less than me per dozen.
Yeah.
You're not getting your butter any cheaper than I am.
Right.
I'm getting my ingredients
You
cheaper
gotta
than
know
you
your
are.
worth. You gotta know your worth.
So don't devalue the product.
Right.
Just
That's all.
Well, and I mean, they're trying to. Of course, there's competition out there. Everybody wants to be competitive, but whenever they do that, shortchange themselves, and then they put out a product that's probably maybe not as good.
Well, let me tell you what I learned, and this is why I have so many friends in the baking industry. I cannot service everybody in the Webster area. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much staff I get, doesn't matter how much I grow. I cannot do it. Nobody can service an area fully. It's not going to happen. It's better to make your competition your friend so you have a bouncing board and you have someone to relate to versus making them your enemy.
And also referrals probably are
It's
huge
very
out there too. You know, whenever you know, you have another competitor and you're like, hey, the Smith family just came by and they wanted a 3-tier cake and I only got the 2 right now. Can I send them your way? And they go, Casey, Jason, we'd love to have your business. Absolutely, send them our way. And do they do the same back for y'all?
Yeah, the baker I'm referring to. Yes, we go back and forth constantly, and I love to have that working relationship. And I came from a home baker, so a lot of my friends are home bakers still.
Yeah.
They'll ask me, hey, where are you getting this? Where are you getting that? Hey, I'm going to help you because I can't service everybody. It's not going to happen. So we should all rise up together is the way I feel.
So the cookie industry, since I've been involved, because I
There's
hear
a
all
whole
these
industry
stories.
for
Give us
cookies.
tell the truth, man. Tell
So the
truth.
cookie industry, it's full of very great people. They're, just like what Casey's saying, they're out there to help you. As long as you don't cross that line, right?
Yeah.
But it's not like a Walmart and Target type relationship where, one's
Two
trying
rivals.
to get this
Right.
corner and this, and nobody's trying to monopolize anything. Everybody's just trying to get their bread together.
Yes,
and,
sir.
and if you're respectful and you're willing just to give the I guess like the shout outs or the respect to the people that you're
Common courtesy,
getting,
too.
yeah, that you're get that information from or the ideas, it goes a long way to but it's just it's also in the cookie industry, it's like a real small world. You think just because you're here in Webster, Texas, doesn't mean that somebody in Canada or somewhere else
It's
doesn't
like
know
we gonna
about
get
you.
that CaseBakes, girl.
Yeah,
we
so
gonna get
it's-
that CaseBakes.
So that can
Yeah.
be a whole nother episode. There's a
Monsters, if you
cookie
will.
con. So there's a convention where all the
Okay.
cookiers get together and there's
Wow.
tickets sold. I actually have a very close friend of cookie friends. They're all across the nation, even the country. There's 7 of us, and we vacation every 2 years together.
Isn't
We'll
that awesome?
fly.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And, one of them does cookie cutters. One of them does really gorgeous cookies. Some of them have stepped out of it, but we all came together from cookies. And so we all relate to that, but it's amazing.
And so I got a funny story real quick because they
Yeah.
talk about they meet up, and it was funny because the first time they met up and kind of met
Salt
each other,
Lake.
Salt Lake, right? And I was like, oh, that's cool. She said, oh yeah, it's a real easygoing place. Okay, no big deal. So then I want to say the next time
New Orleans.
they met up was New Orleans. I'm like, whoa,
Hey, that's a
hold
change
on
of
now,
pace.
hold on now. And then what was it? Vegas, y'all went?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, oh man, y'all went from good to like, where? How am I supposed to scale this?
Yeah, what's next? Tijuana?
Yeah,
you go to
yeah,
Tijuana,
right.
Mexico next?
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah, what's next? You gonna leave your phone at the house? Shoot, what's going on?
Vegas, New Orleans. You know what? These cookie girls are up to no good, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I don't want them with you no more.
That's funny.
Oh man, yeah. So, okay. So what's you say like Halloween through Christmas? You like to run around and say 15 minutes, girls. But what's probably the busiest time of the year for y'all? Like, is there a specific holiday or date that's?
Every holiday.
Oh, right.
Every holiday is chaotic. Especially right now, it's the month of May. I don't sleep. The first week of May, you have to think. Let's see. There's May 4th,
Yep.
Star
May the
Wars
4th
Day.
Be with you.
Cinco de Mayo,
Yep.
and then it starts Teacher Appreciation Week.
Yep.
Leads into Nurses Week.
Wow.
This is all in one month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
leads into end of school year.
Graduations.
Leads into graduation, and then we'll get a little bit of a break now, and then it goes into Father's Day,
Yep.
4th of July,
Yep.
back to school, bit of a break, and then from Halloween through January, it's
Booming.
Yeah.
done.
So, so basically year round for y'all, pretty much, man. It seems like maybe a couple months break, but
When we first started in the summertime, it's our slower time of the year after graduation season. But what we're seeing now with the growth that we have, there isn't really a slower time. The girls are usually the summertime, they're looking forward to having 2 or 3 days off a week, doing things like that. But now it's like, do you really need that day off? Can we work around that?
Yeah, flip it on its head. Just be like, hey, look, I know you want to take the day off, but if you put in more work, you know what? You could have more time off. So just work
Yeah.
your tail off today.
Yeah.
Kinda like,
They're amazing,
shout out,
though.
shout
They
out
do
to
what
what
they
you did to
can.
Randy, man.
Yeah.
I can't believe you did that to your dad.
He loves it.
Something I want to kind of touch on. You've mentioned multiple times. How important is social media for your marketing? You've kind of touched on it a couple
it's
times.
Huge. So being a home baker, that was my only outlet was
Yeah.
social media, and that's what grew it was
Right.
social media. And so it's been finding ways to stay relevant
Yeah.
with social media. Like when I got on TikTok, I remember I'd ask my son, they keep putting a blue ball cap in my comments. What does that mean? And he said, "Oh, cap." And I'm like, yeah, but what does that mean?
Oh, no.
Yeah, and he was like, it means you're lying, like no cap. And I was like,
You started freaking
they're
out.
calling me a liar? Yeah. You know, so then like,
Not mama. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like, no, like, you know, it's one of those things. Or like what my daughter said, "Oh, you're Gucci," and I thought she was calling me bougie, and I took it offensively. And then my
Good.
son had to tell me, "No, it means you're good." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "But good at what?" And like, so I feel really old on TikTok, but I'm getting there. Like I'm getting it.
I feel like I'm trying to explain to my mother Pokemon right now.
I know.
It's Pokemon, not Pokemon, Mom.
So we're getting there, but the TikTok's growing. They're seeing more behind the scenes. They're learning the staff.
Yeah.
They know them on a first name basis. So I'm, you know, it's huge in a business to be
How
out
many
there on
views you
social
got on your
media.
TikTok? You showed us something like crazy, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 2.8 million or something.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
huge growth.
So we've had a couple viral videos, and it's really the staff that
Yeah.
makes them go viral. That's what it is. It's not me decorating anything. It's a behind the scenes thing from the staff.
And now
or
to
something.
clarify for any haters, is there any capping in your business?
No.
No cap.
cap.
There's no cap.
There's no
Just
reason for me
recognize that.
to.
Yeah, no cap.
I mean,
everybody.
that
We
even,
just wear them.
Yeah.
You mean the
Baker
baker's
caps.
hat? Yeah, you put the baker's
You
cap?
gotta wear a cap. You're
That
back in
wraps-
the back. You gotta wear a hat.
it wraps right back around to though you building that culture at your work. All moms, people, y'all kind of like-minded individuals, and you say the ones that go viral are just the staff in
Yeah.
the back, like doing that.
So
thing.
it sounds crazy, but when I hire people, I don't hire on experience because
Right.
I actually don't want you to have experience because I don't want you coming into my
Bad
bakery
habits
telling
that-
me how you're going to do something or how you do it.
Or how
Wow.
this is the
Yeah,
way
That's
it's
huge.
I
done
want
around
to train
here.
you. What
That's
I
huge.
hire you on is your personality
Yeah.
because I'm
Cool.
going to know if you're
Cool.
going to fit in or if you're not, or if you're
Wow.
going to be a bully or if you're not, if you're going to be able to take a joke, you know,
Right.
how it's going to play. And
Yep.
I'm great at hiring with personalities.
Cool.
So the staff
That's
fully
very
trusts
smart.
me with that.
Because you can train people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You
Yeah.
can train them, and like you said, you don't get the baggage of their previous
Yes.
experience. So you hire on personalities, like if they're going to be a good fit for your company.
Right
Yeah.
now, my staff of 9, myself, and then 2 other employees are the only ones who have previous training. Everybody else I have training.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't want Janet in the back there, in the background
Yeah.
over there, going like, "Well, in my 20 years of the bakery, let me tell you, girl,
Yes.
this is how it's done."
Yes, I don't
Like,
need that.
Janet, whoever he is, get out of here. We
Yeah.
got it covered.
Yeah, we're doing good so far. So far that's worked for us.
So
but
y'all
yeah.
were talking about personality. So me, I have like a little slogan. It's kind of like personality gets you in the door, but your work ethic will keep you there.
Nice.
You know, and that's,
Yep.
I mean,
Whenever I'm
sta-
excited
holds
about
water,
somebody,
you know?
he's like, "Let's see in 30 days."
Yeah,
Let's
so
see
give
in
it
30
about a
days.
month. Don't.
So
get
you're a
too
realist,
crazy.
man. That's what it really
Yeah.
is. You're a realist.
I have a little. I mean, I got thin hair and all that because got a little experience on me.
Is it because of the baker's cap that you've had on?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Get your hair off?
It's all the stress from all these
It was
women.
all that construction I was
Is
having
it
to do. and
Picking
like,
up
man,
50-pound flour bags, moving them for days.
Yeah.
That making the call to move into a trailer, like burn
Yeah.
the ship, like
What did I do?
Yeah, that's what it all fell
Yeah,
out.
if we would have had that documented, 2 90-pound labs in that trailer, that was just horrific.
Yeah, I think it's
I could
unheard
never
of.
do that.
Well, and then also managing, managing a woman who's putting it also out all on the line to make it happen. And you say you're going through emotional roller coaster, just
Well, you know,
waves
another
of-
setback that we didn't talk about was right when the city opened our doors, we got our permit to operate. I was like, we've got this. We're good to go. He left his job of 12 years in the midst of this while we're living at my parents' house. And I thought, we're never moving out of my parents. This is it. I'm living with
remember
my
that
mom
day.
for the rest of my life. And I was so like, I can say it now, but I was upset at him. I'm like, why would you do
I think
this?
everybody was.
My mom was
That's what I
even
do.
I
like,
got a plan, bro.
Yeah, that's what I do. I like to get
And
you
you know-
upset, and then I show you.
and it was
I got
for the
a game
best. It was
plan.
a better situation. Now he works right by the house versus Cypress. He works in Seabrook, which is where we
Right,
live.
yeah.
So it was a better situation. But I mean, the roller coaster of emotions with all of that constantly on this journey. And I know they're not over yet. I know there's more coming. I know
Right.
it's going
Yeah.
to.
But we're ready for them. We feel we're just like spiritually and I think we're just good people. You know,
Yeah.
we have good intentions.
At the
with,
end of the day,
with
that's
what
what
we
really
try to
matters.
do. And really, I think that's really if I break it all down, that's really the foundation of really the success or of our choices that we make. You know, it
Yeah.
kind of comes down to that. You know, and I mean, just till this day, you know, we still have little things that we gotta kind of work around and deal with, but just keep your head up, you know, do what you're supposed to do as a person, and the rest just kind of falls into place, you know, and that's kind of how we kind of live by, and you know, that's yeah.
Well,
That's amazing.
Yeah, no, it's huge, man. I mean, whenever you go out there and just be a good person and treat other people right, it's funny. It's funny how the world just kind of is like they sit back. The world sits back and goes, "Oh no, we see you. Watch this blessing of favor we're about to put on y'all." You know, for being good people and making sure that the people that are helping y'all are taken care of also. Yeah. Whatever great energy is out there, I say all praise the Most High. Whatever that is, thank you for being a good spirit and watching. Oh, yeah, for sure. You know, definitely.
What were some of your favorite like orders to make, or who are some of your like best, coolest clients or something like that?
Oh my gosh, we have so many cool clients. We do a professional sports team in Houston all the time, and that can be anywhere from a handful of cookies to thousands of cookies. I mean, there's been times where I'm crying driving down 610 to make a delivery, and I'm like, never again. But I love it. So we do that. We do a lot of area home builders. We have Cane Island out in Katy. They're amazing to work with. They do a ton of events for the community. We do a lot of that. We do a lot of hospitals. We do a big hospital in Nashville. We actually ship their cookies out to them.
Wow.
We just have a lot of big corporate clients. So it's kind of fun to get an order like that because you're a part of the a part of the, you know, a new logo, we get to do it. Because we're by NASA, we do a lot of stuff for mission control.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
They're in there going 3, 2. Shout out CaseBakes, cookies are bomb. 1, launch.
I mean, I have to say that's probably what we all get really giddy over is NASA orders because it's just space is so cool, you know.
It's out of this world.
Yes.
The orders are going to be out of this world, I guarantee you. Yeah.
So, I mean,
put
we
a
get
literal
so much.
cookie on the literal moon. Damn it.
I know, that'd be awesome. Maybe one day.
Put it on the spaceship.
You just don't know what you're walking into with work, and that's what's fun. I mean, we can walk in and in our inbox is something crazy, or we can walk in and who knows who's going to walk through the door, and it's just one of those fun things. You just don't know it's not the same every day. You know, maybe this theme, like we have Princess Day coming up. So when that happens, everything's going to be princess themed, and we're going to have princesses in the lobby for pictures, and it's going to be all girly, and it's just going to be so much fun. And then after that, Father's Day, boom, you know, it's like you just switch tracks. So it's so fun to have a different work environment, literally daily.
Yeah, I was going to say, it seems like it's always something new that y'all can surround your theme around.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be, you know, like a Father's Day, a graduation now.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, I remember when back before all this started and we were kind of always like strapped in money, I always used to be like, man, we can never get ahead because every month has something that's
holiday.
That like whatever extra money you saved or made, there's some sort of event that's made to get that
money back.
You know, Christmas, Father's Day, nurses,
Grandparents'
all the
Day.
things. Yeah.
Right.
So when we got the business kind of up and going, it was like, well, you know what? That's let's tap into that. You know, there's so many holidays out there that, you know, if you just kind of do a little bit of research.
And not just holidays, like Friends had their reunion special this week. So we had Friends cookies in the lobby all week. So people were coming to get Friends cookies when Game of Thrones would air. You know, we're huge Game of Thrones fans. We had Game of Thrones cookies. So we would go with themes of what's happening. So if it's like National Ice Cream Day, we'd have ice cream in the lobby for sale, and all of our cookies would look like ice cream. And we love a good theme. So give us the theme and we run with it.
That's cool. That's smart. Very smart.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, a little off topic, but I didn't really watch the series because I just don't watch a lot of TV. What happened in the end that was so horrible?
It was.
What?
It's a whole
That's
discussion.
way too much.
All right. Well,
long story short, in my opinion, they just rushed it.
That's the best way to explain it.
Right.
And you have to watch it to understand it.
All right.
Our dog's actually named after one of the characters.
Oh, which one?
Braun.
Oh, cool.
Love him.
Braun. Like LeBron?
No.
Like in the movie.
I don't watch the show.
Yeah,
You're missing out. So
okay,
good.
maybe that's my problem. That's my fault, all right?
But like Harry Potter Day is a huge day for us. All the Harry Potter fans come out and they dress like wizards, and we have the lobby, you know, all lit up with the candles, and it's all Harry Potter treats, and we have sorting hat cupcakes where they bite into it and they get what house they get. I mean, it's a huge event every year, and that's actually when he realized we have to expand the lobby because the line was out the door waiting for so long.
Isn't that beautiful though? You're like, man, hey, this
it's neat. Yeah. I mean, just seeing, you know, for me being from the outside in. So when this business gig started, I was very involved. You know, like kind of her right hand man, right? Just being there with her. And And then as her team grew and then the business just started going, now it's like I'm really not needed within the business because now their team is just so great.
Machine.
She has everybody there that contributes in some way where I'm just not really needed except for to vent. You know what I mean? And that's kind of this is where I always wanted the business to get to where because she's fully capable of doing what she's doing right now.
She's on it.
Yeah, she doesn't need, like for me to sit there and tell her or this or she's awesome and,
Bless
she's
his
doing
heart, the
real
last
good.
time he tried when he came in for a meeting. He tried that. He had a dry erase board with a diagram and the girls were like, nope.
What's this guy doing here?
Yeah, look, get him out of here.
Get this guy out of here.
I know he's helped build the business, but we don't want you, all right?
Yeah, we already moved on with that, sir.
You're over here like, man, I'm doing my best to be a backbone, but all right, fine.
I bet that's even kind of cool to get to see it like, hey, they're handling it now. You know what I mean? You can
I
take
used
that
to
step back.
I like sometimes I'll pop in there and I just like to come in the back door of the facility and kind of walk in there and see everybody just
They're like ants,
working
I tell
together.
you. They're like
You know what I
ants.
mean?
They know what
Honestly.
they got to do. They're amazing.
Well, I mean, 11 years later, and your business is running successfully. They all know their job. They know what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And it's usually a pretty good move whenever you can kind of step back and like just, hey, this thing is functioning in full motion right now.
Yeah, yeah.
This thing is functioning in full motion. And I told y'all this thing was gonna fly, didn't I?
Yeah.
Didn't
It
I tell
really
y'all
has.
this is gonna fly?
Yeah.
Man, I mean we've had I mean it's it's getting near the time, but I mean we've had awesome information here and no, I mean this has just been awesome to have y'all
I'm
here.
so bummed that we didn't bring anything. I can't believe that.
Man.
No, y'all brought yourselves in your story.
I know.
It was amazing.
And it was so
We'll have
much
to bring
fun.
someone when he come back.
We appreciate it so
How about
much.
next episode y'all come on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get someone in, man.
Yeah.
So let's shout out all your handles, all your social handles and stuff.
Okay, so on Instagram, we're just case_bakes, Facebook CaseBakes, and TikTok CaseBakes Bakery, and that's where we're at for all of it. TikTok's our most active, though. Instagram, we've kind of been...
She's got like 32K on IG.
Don't let her undermine
talk
you.
like she's not something.
If you need
she's
a-
big weight.
If y'all need custom orders for any sort of art on a dessert, you can reach out to
Anything,
her.
birthdays, anniversaries, corporate orders. CaseBakes.com is our website. You can order online. We have a whole menu online, or you can just reach out and we can do whatever.
CaseBakes, that's CaseBakes.
Correct. Yep.
CaseBakes.
CaseBakes.
Cool.
CaseBakes.
Well, we appreciate y'all coming so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
This has been
Thanks
amazing.
for having us out
Thank
here.
you.
No, it's
Absolutely.
been so much fun, and
Cool.
you know, hopefully, if anything happens, you know what I mean. They'll the food. Who'd you say it was? The health inspector? Yeah, maybe they ease up on you a little bit. Now
Yeah.
that
she's
No, they're
fine.
now
good.
we
She's
see up in here in
great.
HTown
Yeah.
happy hour.
Yeah, no, she's great. We love her.
Yeah, they're
Talk
real-
about
they're real
expansion
good.
over here in the city, okay?
Yeah.
Well,
All right, man.
episode 9 in the books.
Episode 9 in the books.
All
we
right.
go.
Guys,
That's cool.
thank y'all so much for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. Good to
And
go.
absolutely, thank y'all. We'll see y'all soon.
HTown Happy Hour, #1 podcast in the world. Let's go.
In the world.
#1.
Bye.